Well, hello Dirtfish Rally friends. It's just about the end of day 2 here at the Acropolis Rally of Greece. We do still have the service station super special SSSS Luke Barry to go, but tough. We know it was going to be tough. We saw from yesterday's stages just how demanding things were going to be. And do you know what, let's talk Elfyn Evans first. Look, there was plenty of drama in the morning, we will come to that. But the drama in the afternoon was Elfyn Evans.
Take right into him with Chris.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of our afternoon chasing Elfyn and trying to find out what happened. Essentially, he's had a very, I guess unlucky, soft roll in a tight hairpin on the penultimate stage of the day, the last one before the super special, and that caused what didn't look like it was too much damage. He probably got away quite lightly considering the circumstances. The car was on its roof, spectators then managed to get it back on its wheels. He let Ogier pass, got to the end of the stage, and that's where we picked him up. And yeah, the two of them, him and Scott, were doing a lot of repairs to that car, and it was actually seemingly okay.
Yeah.
But we don't know if they would have made it here on time or not. They could have done, because that's actually quite a generous road section, but they went through a toll booth. We were trying to keep tabs in at the same time, looking across, worried he was going to get ahead. It turned out he unfortunately had to stop because the team essentially realised he didn't have to continue to help the manufacturers bid.
Yeah, the question for me is, okay, the consequences of the mistake, it was inconsequential. It really didn't matter either way for his championship or for the manufacturers. But, you know, it's another mistake.
Yeah.
It's another mistake for me. You know, there's no pressure on him. Really, today was all about maybe finding a good feeling before a big push tomorrow to get some points. It's never over in this sport until it's mathematically over. So Evans is still, although it's a long shot, in the championship.
Yeah.
Do you know, he's jeopardised his chances of scoring points tomorrow by rolling today.
Yeah.
Too many mistakes creeping in?
It's not been a good run of rallies. I'll certainly agree with you on that. I think obviously we're coming off the back of another mistake in Finland. I know it was 4 weeks ago, but that was still the most recent event. It's a strange one because all season he's kind of been very close to Thierry, who's led the championship. He's kind of begun to slip away, and almost the further back he's got, the sort of more of a rut he seemed to get stuck into. You could look at things both ways. I said earlier that was he unlucky to roll in a soft place? Maybe yes, but was he the only one to do it? Also yes. So there has to be an element of driver error, I guess, in that equation. And for me, I'd look at it as not too concerning in the sense of the pressure isn't on. So
we can't just dismiss it, Luke. We can't just dismiss it. I'm going to have to disagree with you here. Look, the pressure was on Sunday in Finland, and he made a mistake. High pressure stakes there really was. And he was going for it. You can forgive him that. But, you know, he needed to keep that car as good as he could for tomorrow and that potential push for points. For me, that's, it's a worrying situation. The pressure was on. Yes, there was a mistake. There was no pressure on him today, and he's made yet another mistake.
His rally's been a bit of a disaster all the way through, let's be honest. He had that puncture on stage 1, so he's never really been in the fight, and arguably this shouldn't happen. I'm not suggesting it has. It's just a theory I'm something going to put out here, but it would be fairly easy in that situation to kind of, I wouldn't say drop his concentration, but not feel quite as on it as he would if he was
the focus, the concentration had gone a touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elfyn Evans then parked by the side of the motorway just outside of Athens. We will, I'm almost 100% certain, see him tomorrow. If you want to maybe recap the dramas with Evans this afternoon, where'd you go, Luke?
Which corner is it, Elliot? Is it up there?
It's up there. It's up above your head. Right above your head.
Here.
Press that button above Luke's head. That will take you straight to our video. We were there with him just about every step of the way as he fought to get his car here to the final stage of the day. Let's go back to the morning. At the start of the day, it was a Hyundai 1, 2, 3. It was Tänak that led the way from Sordo and then Thierry Neuville. Let's talk about Thierry Neuville. He's the one that's avoided the big issues. Yes, he had some sort of issue yesterday with the car intermittently going on to 3 cylinders, but he's avoided any real jeopardy out there today. It's been a strong, sensible, thought-through, intelligent run from Neuville today, and he deserves to be at the front.
Absolutely. On the way here in the car, actually, we were discussing just how many of our Rally 1 cars have had issues, and we actually reckon Jordan Serradurius is the only one not to have encountered any kind of problems. So fair play to you, Jordan. But Thierry, as you said, of the rest has had the least. And I'm not going to for a second suggest that everybody else has picked up punctures, it's been their fault, but Thierry, as you say, he's managed the wrist, and there has been a degree of pressure on him. There's all this talk ramping up about fighting Ogier in the championship and everything else, and there was quite a bit of drama in the media zone last night as well regarding certain things, but Thierry's taken that in his stride as well. He's outscored Ogier for today, which is the massive thing.
We are in the lead, we have a comfortable lead. However, tomorrow is a difficult day, lots of points again to take, so we need to find the right balance, and realistically we know that nothing is done yet, as there are some very challenging and rough stages out there tomorrow.
Given you have a good championship lead, and obviously if you don't do well tomorrow, if you maybe don't finish, you lose what you've gained today, will you push tomorrow, or will you think about backing off and just banking what you have today?
I don't think we need to be fastest tomorrow. However, I believe that if we can take similar amount of points of the weekend as Sebastian, we have done a good operation this weekend.
I think the man who has had a really strong day out there is Danny Sordo. He has battled his way through today. He tried to knock his eye out at one point. He's got a couple of cuts above his eye. He knocked nearly, well, he did just about knock a rear wheel off, actually. It was the tyre that went, wasn't it? Did all sorts of damage to the rear of the car. Drove this afternoon wearing goggles with dust piling into the car, but he kept his position, and that was so important. It was important from the manufacturer's point of view, points there, and it was important from Neuville's point of view. It kept Sebastian Ogier one place back. For me, driver of the day, maybe even driver of the weekend for me, Danny Sordo. Maybe Sordo is just so utterly reliable and dependable. And you know, we all said it in the the lunchtime regroup. 40 odd seconds to Ogier. Ogier might catch him. Nuts. Nope. Not a chance. Sordo's been good out there today.
Danny,
We drove a little bit slowly, and we trying to don't have any more puncture or something. But for sure, with the dust in the car and all, it was a little bit more tricky, and also we were a little bit. We have a little bit gap with Seb, at least for today, and we didn't want to make another mistake and to lose one position also.
It's almost a bit like rally raid out there, wasn't it? Really rough stage, just goggles on instead of a helmet, so preparing for something else in the future or something?
Yeah, it was like it was really bad in the car, and also it was really bad surface with the stones and all. It was hard to survive, but it's okay.
We saw you obviously injured your eye and your head this morning. Has that been okay?
Yeah, everything okay. Many things happened today, but hope tomorrow it will be better.
Yeah, super stuff from Danny Sordo. Smiling here in the media zone. He's always smiling.
He is.
He's Mr. Chirpy, isn't he, really? Sebastian Ogier, a little bit frustrated today, I sensed, Luke. He perhaps got a sniff of that second place at one point when he saw that Sordo had issues, but he just wasn't able to make any inroads. And you know what, 40 seconds, what were we thinking? But yeah, a sense that he's been a little frustrated out there.
Yeah, compared to yesterday, it's been a very anonymous day. Less, I guess, headline things. Obviously, yesterday he had that problem with the turbo, which dumped him out of the lead. And I think we saw him this morning before all the action got underway many hours ago now. And yeah, there was just a little bit of an edge to him. He sort of felt he just didn't seem that joyful. He then sort of switched up with a quite fun little bit, which you can watch in our highlights video, morning interview video. I'm going to do the point up there as well. But yeah, I agree. It's not been a bad day. It's not been a great day either. But arguably, he's not done it. He's done what he had to do, hasn't he? The big thing for me, what's interesting, is how does he respond tomorrow? What does he do? Does he go absolutely flat attack and just take no risk at all? He kind of suggested that he wouldn't. Look, this is Sebastian Ogier.
I think he has to. I think he absolutely has to. You know, he was 27 points behind coming into this event. There is a chance that if he does go flat chat tomorrow, picks up 12 points, we heard from Thierry Neuville, he is going to look after the points that he secured from today. There's a chance that he might only drop a further point or two behind Neuville.
I think it's been a strong day. We did everything we had to do, but the gaps were there from yesterday night, so for sure we couldn't really catch some positions. Only one because of the trouble of oil this morning. So at least we need to be satisfied with what we've done today, and tomorrow, of course, will be now the decisive moment of the weekend with all these points in play, and probably for me the roughest stage of the weekend.
Well, we talked, didn't we, about the dramas for the Hyundai team. It was really a difficult day, in particular for Tänak. He was leading the rally going into the opening stage, but he didn't have to wait too long, look, to experience just how hard this rally bites. And it gave him a bite,
It did.
and then it bit him again in
I
the
know.
opening stage.
It was horrible. It's probably one of the longest days I've had of the season. It just got even longer for Tänak, didn't it, with that puncture so early on. To have 2 punctures in one stage is remarkable, really. It is. It's rotten luck. It's just terrible. And it dropped him down from first, outside of the podium places. And from there, there wasn't really much he could do, was there? Because the gaps were so big, he wasn't going to catch anybody up. So there wasn't too much to talk about other than a rather interesting moment at the same corner as Evans.
Yeah, it came by surprise. Probably there was some hole or something, but as it was so deep downhill, obviously we couldn't see. You just follow kind of the nature in this kind of place to understand where the road goes. But was definitely on the limit. But let's say it played out positively.
In that moment when the car is on 2 wheels, is it skill to get it back, or is it just luck that you get back on all 4?
Well, it's just instinct, I guess. It's nothing else. There is really no time to think as much as you are asking the question at the moment, so it actually happens quite quickly.
Really not a bad day for Hyundai at all. Tänak might slightly disagree with that. What about our other Rally 1 drivers? Adrian Formeau, he's made it here to the final stage of the evening, but I've got to say, look, I was really concerned for him in that lunchtime regroup. He was absolutely struggling with, yes, it was hot outside, but the heat that was soaking into the cockpit was giving him some issues, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was heat in his pedal box, so when he's putting his feet on the pedals, it's just basically causing his entire body to heat up. And as you say, it was hot work for all of them out there, but he in particular was desperate for any kind of water, the cool vest, everything he can do. He was bright red, but he's a fit boy, obviously, and he's obviously got past in medicine as well. So of all of our drivers, to know what he had to do in that situation, it was Adrian.
His teammate, Greg, what a monster. Sadly, he put it off the road this afternoon. It does look as if that car is very much fixable. I'm sure we'll see him back tomorrow. Takamoto Katsuta, a bit of an anonymous day really for Takamoto. First on the road, really slippery at times. You have to say he dealt with that very well indeed. He's made it here as well this evening. Rally 2 again, Luke. Well, it's been a bit backwards and forwards, hasn't it? Verves led at the start of the day, but that man Pyrie, just getting through the stages, making no mistakes, just banging the times in, looking good. He leads at the end of the day.
He does, and another super impressive day from Sammy. I think we all know his potential, we all know where his future probably is, but it's another reminder of just how good he can be. Johan Rosell's his other main rival. He's in third, suffering from punctures yesterday, but yeah, Verves still second. So as we know with Rally and Cohen, it's not decided, but Sammy's been very impressive today. All being well, it should be his tomorrow, but fingers crossed I'm not jinxed anybody saying that.
Ooh, the curse of the commentator. Let's wait and see. No, listen, he has done a great job, and yeah, I'm with you. I think that it is Sammy Pyries to win out there tomorrow, but we have still some difficult stages to come tomorrow. Fingers crossed for Sammy and Amy. There we are, folks. What a day. Not quite finished. As I say, these people here waiting patiently for the finishing super special in the motorway nation. It still makes me laugh thinking about it. But, you know, it's either an absolutely shocking idea or it's a genius idea. I'm going with genius. I am genuinely going with genius. I think it's just a fantastic way of keeping sponsors engaged. You know, we've had 2 or 3 videos today. Just have a look through our YouTube. You've seen the buttons, scroll back, press the buttons once you've had a look at this. Go back and have a look at the dramas and the actions that we've managed to follow out in the stages today. What more might tomorrow bring, Luke? Thanks for joining us, folks, on day 2. We are looking forward now to day 3.